It usually takes me about 2 hours to get up to the cabin, and normally I can drive all the way up. But when there's snow, this is what I normally have to do, which I really don't mind. I look at it as exercise. So I bring my little sled, I got the snowshoes, and I travel up this long, steep road to get to the cabin. Today, February 1st, I decided to go up again after being up here a week prior. So here's my second trip after the big snow. The first time I came up here, I dug out the cabin. Took me a while. It took me about 45 minutes to get up there, and then another 15-20 minutes to dig out the door, and also pulling some snow off the roof where it likes to collect. If it gets too heavy, it could damage the roof and the ceiling in the cabin. As you can see, the road is fairly steep, and it's not too easy when the snow is deep. Even with the snowshoes, you still sink about a foot, sometimes a foot and a half, 2 feet, depending on how fluffy the snow is. But it's so beautiful up there, I don't mind. You probably could hear me breathing pretty good. The air is thin, and the road is steep. I'm actually making pretty good progress, but every now and again I like to look around. There is a lynx that lives in the area, and I always look for tracks. I've seen it many times. It's pretty cool. I'm sure there's plenty to eat up here for that cat, because there's lots of chipmunks, mice, rats, and other critters I probably haven't even seen. There's a gang of coyotes that live up here. I usually see them in a pack of 3 or 4. Today's kind of a gray day. It was raining earlier, so the snow isn't really as fluffy as normal, and it's definitely not as deep as it was last week. But still, because of the incline, it's a lot of good exercise going up. The lake isn't frozen now, but it was a few weeks ago. Even though temperatures have gone down to about 10 degrees, the water has to be very calm for a coat of frozen ice to form over the top. And as soon as that happens, it pretty much freezes for sometimes a month, which means that it's very hard to fish during these times. But one does what he has to do. Sometimes just going up here for solitude is perfectly fine. I've hiked during blizzards. I dig it. It's fun. Last week I had to pull a load of water and food along with wood, which weighs down the sled pretty good, and it's harder to drag up. Today I've just got a couple bundles of wood and my clothes and a little bit of food. The water is what weighs the most. you can see the cabin. It's right up there. The cabin to the left is our destination. It looks big from here, but it's really quite small. It's just a fishing cabin. 460 square feet on the top, and then I added another 170 square feet on the bottom. I put in this retaining wall about 3 years ago just to hold up the dirt from degrading down. Every snow winter would just bring some of the wall into the road, and I had to dig it up. But now it's all locked in real tight. This snow right here is getting thicker and thicker. You can see evidence of where I walked a week ago. A little bit of an impression. We got about a foot and a half this last snow. There it is. Almost there. This is the driveway where I normally park my car. That big mound of snow right there is where I dump most of the stuff off the roof. This is beautiful Big Bear. Across from us is Boulder Bay. We're on the North Shore side. Take a look inside. Opens up right into the living area. Before I do anything else, I like to turn on the heaters, especially in the winter. There's a trap door over here that goes down. This is the lower level that I put in, about 5 years ago. Took me about a year to build, but turned out really nice. Added a lot of extra room. The view down here is beautiful. Underneath the deck, I also put a swing chair. Back here is the original bedroom. It's comfortable. We put these bamboo blinds over the windows so that the sun doesn't blaze on everything inside and ruin everything. The elements up here are pretty harsh. Summers are very warm and sunny, and winters are very cold and snowy. But you can see the trees in the front of the cabin that usually bear leaves in the summer, but in the winter they lose them all, so the view becomes much larger. It's almost like living in a tree house. Now you could really take a look at the view. It's got a Ben Franklin potbelly stove, an original. And after a long day, I'll start a fire and just kick it. Next day, I went down to the lake just to get a couple shots. Normally I would have my rod and reel with me, but today it's just filming and exploring. But look how clear the water is. It is amazing. You can almost drink it in the winter. No boats turning up the water. And right now there is no fishermen. Normally I'd be the only one on the lake fishing, but today was just for filming. I want to try to remember this when I'm old and can't do this anymore. You can see that there's a little ice right in there where the wind really couldn't touch. Normally the ice don't get very thick up here. Here are some shots that I took with my regular camera. Shows you how beautiful it looks. And here are some sunrises that I encounter while fishing in the morning. Well, that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed my video.